In the chronicles of our nascent republic, the principle of religious liberty, as enshrined within our constitution, shines forth as a paragon of wisdom and foresight. This safeguard of diverse beliefs serves not only to protect the freedom of conscience, but also to cultivate a harmonious society where ethical behavior, grounded in enlightened self-fulfillment and transcendence, is inherently rewarded. It is time to put all the pieces together to explore the ultimate question: what is God? Let us once again consider the orchestrated illusion where time, identity, and our perceived reality are subjective constructs of our minds, forever removed from objective reality, or as Kant would say, the things in themselves. For these contrivances to be explored and communicated by and with our rational minds, we must embark on further construction using logic and language. The problem becomes, how on earth are we to define something we can't possibly access directly, using logic and language which likely can't fully encompass it, even if we could? Surely, that which can't be properly defined can't be confirmed or denied to exist. The futility will be apparent in the exercise. How do we define God? God is said to be the ultimate, perfectly benevolent, all-knowing and all-powerful creator. He has also been identified as a Caucasian, with a long white beard lounging on a cloud. But what if he isn't perfectly benevolent, or doesn't have a beard? Would he still be God? As we did with life in a previous essay with the definition of life, let us posit the most broad, charitable, and abstract definition possible. In the words and spirit of Descartes, I think, therefore I am, therefore God exists. This basically asserts God as the opposite of nihilism. Within that dynamic, we quickly must face the concept of other. Our Cartesian definition of God conjures up, among other things, visions of pantheism. Is God of separate stuff from his creation, including us? Further yet, whether separate or integrated, are we ourselves gods? Obviously, a blasphemous statement to those who gain from keeping us in the matrix, but as the ostensibly singular focus of tens of billions of cells, containing several trillion molecules and 7 billion billion billion, 10 to the 27th atoms, is this not a reasonable supposition given the confines of language? What are we to make of all this? Kant holds the key to this as well, and he takes us full circle. In our very first essay, we exposed the hypocrisy of what we called sophisticated Christians and atheists, who find themselves wallowing in the quagmire of self-delusion, despite the altruistic disposition their enlightened perspectives should render. A perspective which, taken to its logical conclusion, would dictate the futility of the immortal existence of our elusive selves. The participatory purpose in the ultimate cause dwarfs our individual identities, rendering them irrelevant beyond our part in said cosmos. The more one realizes the immensity of the mission and the privilege to take part versus the ever-shrinking size of the illusory self in an increasingly enlightened understanding of self, the more one realizes the importance of the former and the folly of the latter, and the closer one comes to escaping the quagmire of self-delusion. Now, let us return to the benefits of a don't ask, don't tell religious policy. Sophisticated theists, who embrace a nuanced and often philosophical understanding of the divine, find solace in a society that does not demand public declarations of faith. They can pursue their spiritual and ethical ideals without fear of persecution or the need to conform to dogmatic expectations. Their belief in a higher power, often framed within the context of intellectual and spiritual inquiry, is harmoniously supported by a constitution that respects their privacy and autonomy. This environment allows them to fulfill their higher needs for self-actualization and transcendence, as articulated by Maslow's hierarchy of needs. In this state, individuals achieve personal growth and fulfillment, aligning their actions with Kantian duty, acting ethically out of respect for moral law rather than external compulsion. Dogmatic theists, who adhere to specific religious doctrines and practices, are equally served by this policy. A constitutionally guaranteed freedom of religion ensures that they can practice their faith openly and without interference. At the same time, a don't ask, don't tell approach allows them to coexist peacefully with those of different or no faith, fostering mutual respect and reducing religious conflict. This policy promotes a society where ethical behavior is rewarded not through coercion, but through the inherent satisfaction of living in accordance with one's deeply held beliefs. This environment encourages the realization of self-transcendence, where individuals feel a profound connection to something greater than themselves, fulfilling the highest tier of Maslow's hierarchy. Moreover, this constitutional religious system not only extends us our inalienable rights, but also safeguards the citizens from the harms of irrational dogmatic corruption in government and fellow citizens. It ensures that religious influence does not compromise the rationality and integrity of our governance, thereby preserving the secular nature of the state and protecting individual freedoms. Atheists, who reject the notion of a deity, also benefit from a don't ask, don't tell religious policy. This approach protects their right to freedom from religion, ensuring they are not compelled to participate in religious activities or face discrimination for their lack of belief. A constitution that maintains a neutral stance on religion allows atheists to pursue ethical lives based on reason, humanism, and the intrinsic value of moral actions. The concept of Nietzsche's eternal return, a philosophical idea suggesting that one should live as if their actions would be repeated eternally, resonates with the atheist perspective. It emphasizes the importance of ethical behavior and the pursuit of a fulfilling life, free from the constraints of religious dogma. Let us further contemplate the preciousness of time in this context. If the exquisiteness of life depends on time, let the preciousness of time equal p, and time left in life equal t. In the limit of the function, 1t derives p, as t approaches 0, p equals infinity. If the preciousness of time is inversely proportionate to how much is left in life, and death brings nothing more than the simple enlightenment of a person's correct path of being, a heaven or a hell is created in the realization of the wealth or absence of time spent there, patent in the last split second of existence, that timeless moment when your life flashes before your mind's eye. This profound understanding aligns with the atheist's view of ethical living, where the finite nature of time underscores the importance of every moment. The enlightenment experienced at life's end, as described, echoes the significance of living a life of purpose and integrity. The atheist's embrace of something like Nietzsche's eternal return further solidifies their commitment to a life well lived, free from the constraints of religious dogma, and guided by reason and moral principles. This policy fosters an environment where ethical behavior is inherently rewarded through self-fulfillment and transcendence. By ensuring that religious beliefs are a private matter, the Constitution allows individuals to seek personal and ethical growth without external pressures. This aligns with the Kantian ideal of duty, where moral actions are performed out of respect for the moral law, rather than fear of divine retribution or societal expectations. Furthermore, a don't ask, don't tell approach to religion minimizes conflict and promotes social harmony. It allows for a diverse society where individuals of varying beliefs can coexist peacefully, each pursuing their own path to ethical fulfillment. This pluralistic environment is essential for a thriving democracy, where freedom of thought and expression are paramount. In conclusion, a constitutionally free don't ask, don't tell religious policy serves sophisticated theists, dogmatic theists, and atheists alike by safeguarding their rights and promoting a society where ethical behavior is intrinsically valued. Through the principles of self-fulfillment and transcendence as articulated by Maslow, the Kantian notion of duty, and the philosophical concept of Nietzsche's eternal return, this policy fosters a just and harmonious society. It ensures that the pursuit of ethical living is rewarded not by external coercion, but through the inherent satisfaction of aligning one's actions with deeply held personal and moral convictions.